So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the light.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Subway BD podcast for the whole region here in the Midwest. And so we want to thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go over a few topics today. We had some market meetings over the past several weeks in Quad Cities, Rockford, Green Bay, Madison. So it was great to see you guys in person, to have some discussions, talk about best practices, what we're going to do to continue the trajectory that we're on, growing sales, growing profits, all that kind of stuff. So we want to thank you guys for that discussion, for showing up. I think it was time well spent, and it was just really good to connect with everybody in person. I wanted to talk about briefly the news that came out today about Work Capital acquiring Subway. I think that they have decided to invest in this brand because of the trajectory that we're on. They see we've had 10 straight months of growing sales, or 10 quarters. Yeah, I think it's 10 quarters actually. But so. Good trajectory, and people are asking about, different details. You guys know what I know, basically, what's in the news and what's on the feed. We've got an article out there today with a message from John. I expect that existing leadership will stay, the current strategy will stay in place, and our job is to continue to serve our guests, promote the Subway series, clean restaurants, friendly service, control your controllables, like I always say. Those are the things that we need to concentrate on. We're going to continue to serve you guys in the same ways that we have been for the last 30 years, and so that's our goal. We're gonna control what we control, and I think this will be a positive step forward for the brand. So no real worries on anywhere around. I think we're going to be continuing the same strategy, and continuing our big refresh strategy, and keep going that way to change that customer perception and elevate the brand, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So I'm going to hand it over to Mike. We're going to start talking about the three top takeaways from the market meetings that we've had over the last few weeks.
Yeah, so we just want to revisit some of those top takeaways. The first takeaway that we want to bring you back to, if you attended or if you didn't attend, that we want to make you aware of, is that initiative all around Rev. And so for the JPW territory, for the Northwoods territory, the combined average score is an 81.3, and so that's a B. It's pretty good. We do want to give a shout out to each of the Subway JPW territories. Each of the Subway JPW territories is performing for their individual Rev score, performing the top 5 for the country in terms of Rev score. And we all know that Rev score is really just a snapshot of the guest experience when Stereotech comes in and they do their evaluation. And we believe that Northwoods territory and franchisees, here's your challenge, but we believe that they'll be right behind the JPW territory. So
yeah, we'll get there. I'd love to have 4 out of the top 5, and I think we can do it. So, but yeah, those three territories are 3 out of the top 5 ranked Rev scores in the nation. So way to go, JPW guys. And I think we can get 4 out of 5 real quickly. So.
Yeah. So we talked about this in the market meeting. Just passing, if you ever said this before, just passing is not good enough. And so you can't get your D or your C, or I'd even say your B, and say, "Oh, I passed. I'm doing decent, or I'm on average with the region. We're in the top 5. We're doing fine." No, that's not the goal, because if we are a B, Stereotech's evaluation is a snapshot of the guest experience. And so why do we want to improve it to be higher ranked in the country? No, that might be a result, but the why is all about the guest experience, as you know. And so we want to get an A, because if Stereotech's given us a B, you and I both know that our customers are likely more critical with what they see when they come into the restaurant. And so if they're giving us a B, our guests might be giving us a C or a low ranking. So why do we need to improve? Why do we need to keep focus on our goal to hit a 91 average It's so that we all raise the bar in guest experience, not just my store, your store, but all of us, our neighbors' stores as well. And Brandon, there's a difference, right? If maybe here's another why. It comes down to profitability and sales, right? There's a difference. What's the difference between the top 25% and the bottom 25% performers in terms of sales index?
Our top 25% on Rev scores are out indexing or outpacing the bottom 25% by 8%.
Yeah.
So sales growth of 8% better in the top performing Rev scores. It was the same way, we talked about this at the meetings too, same way back in the compliance days. The fewer compliance points you had, obviously the cleaner, better run restaurant you had, you outperformed the problems, the stores that had compliance problems by 6 to 8% consistently year after year. So it's about putting more money in your pocket too. Cleaner stores, better run restaurants, higher Rev scores, higher sales.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense. So that's Rev. Brandon, hand it over to you for hours of operation.
So we talked also in these meetings about average hours of operation across the region. We're averaging about 89 hours. That's pretty close. Our goal is 91. Really, the goal is for your individual restaurant. It's going to fluctuate a little bit. Some restaurants could be open 114 hours, and that's maximizing their profitable hours. Some of them might be in that 84 to 89, depending on the market. So the goal is to talk to your field consultant, look at your hourly readings report, and as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we want to maximize the number of profitable hours that we're open. So we gave some examples on stores that should increase their hours, maybe cut an hour from the morning, add an hour to the evening, especially with third-party delivery. Those late hours are a real opportunity for us in third-party delivery. And sometimes, the biggest challenge is staffing. But, what do we do if we don't have somebody that can work till 10:30 p.m.?
Yeah, I'm open till 9. I can't get people to work till 10:30.
I could do $150 an hour for the last couple hours, but I can't find anybody to work. Or nobody on my staff wants to work that.
Yeah, right. That's a problem I need to solve.
Right. Work the problem. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We might not have that person right now, but we need to seek that person out because we can maximize our profitable hours if we find that right person. And there's somebody out there that wants to do it. But I'm not saying it's easy, but we got to work, to try to solve those problems and fill those staffing needs where we can.
Yeah, and you're not saying that problem gets solved like that. It's solved tomorrow. We in the market meetings, we all looked at the example where that average store hour from 8 to 9 was $96. Some days it was over 100, and we all in all the different rooms agreed, yeah, we need to extend hours. It's kind of a lot easier for us to solve someone else's problem.
Right.
But that's something it needs to be solved. It might take 30 days, it might take 45 days, but ultimately we need to solve it.
Right. So last thing we're going to talk about is, back to you, Mike, we're going to talk about Subway Series and our mix and how we're doing there.
Yeah, so Subway Series mix, y'all know why, you've heard it 100 times, why it's important. The average mix is 28%. Our goal is 35%. We do have one area of the region that's bringing us down a little bit. So Chicago, I gave you a challenge in our meeting. We have challenged. I think you challenged them on a podcast in the past. So in Chicago, we need to figure out how can we get it up from the 24% and get closer to that 35% goal. A lot of the stores that are having success, and when I say success, that's like 40, 45%, some even 50% when we look at the individual store level on Subway Series mix. The thing that they're doing is one of the things that they're doing. They're being intentional about that first contact with the guest. Hey, welcome to Subway. What number can I get you off the Subway Series menu? So that's just one best practice, one idea. But ultimately, as we're going into our restaurants, we need to be listening for ACT. We need to be listening for that first contact. And then extending coaching to, if you're a manager listening in, we need to be extending coaching to our folks, our franchisees, extending coaching to our managers. When you see it done well, highlight it. If you see it done poorly, correct it. And if you're not doing it at all right now, one time today and maybe one time tomorrow, extend that coaching. Or if you're doing it once or twice, double it, do it 3 or 4 times. But we really, really need to stay focused on ACT and extending feedback specifically on that. So stretch goal is going to be 50%. And let's just recognize that our customers are still in training. So they're going to try to customize a little bit. That's okay. That's fine. We can say, hey, go see Brandon down at the register. But they may still want to customize it, and that's okay. They're in training, and it's going to take time for them to get familiar with it. But we got to do our part.
Yeah. First step, best communicator right up front. Best communicator, your biggest smile person, and just get them direct that guest to the Subway Series. And that's what Mike said. A great point. Somebody said, my first person just says right away, what number off our series menu can I get you? Yeah. Start there. Let's try to train our people to do that. So, Chicago, I know you guys can bump it up. I know you can. Put your best communicator up there, your biggest smiling face, and get the guests moving in that direction. Yeah. We want to change the perception of the quality of our food, and our Subway Series menu puts the best quality food in the guest's mouth. Yeah. So that's what we want to do. So that's one of the main reasons, profits are great on it. But it's a better tasting sandwich and a higher quality product. So let's get it in our guests.
And we got a lot of good franchisees in that Chicago market that I know are going to take us up on that. Just try it 10 times. Demonstrate it for your folks and try that 10 times and see how many. Try saying that 10 times where you say, hey, what sandwich can I get off Subway Series menu for you? And then you got a better chance of your team following if you do that, if you extend the coaching and demonstrate for them.
Right. So we're going to wrap things up here. One quick thing I want to re-hit on. We've been re-hitting on this several times over the last couple of years. Remodels. Get your plans from John or from Renee. Start building your edit list, contacting contractors, getting things set up. We're winding down towards the end of the summer. We've got, Northwoods, we need you to catch up. We're behind on remodels in that market. So I know that we're very, very seasonal, and a lot of people have been putting things off up there because of the very, very busy summer season. It's starting to get towards fall now. If we want to get these remodels done this winter, which we need to do, all those remodels we got to get going. We need to start that process now. Get your equipment lists up and in the process with John. If you need contractor recommendations, we can give those recommendations. But let's make sure we get those things in the works right now so that they can be accomplished over the winter in our slower period of time. So obviously we got back to school coming up. That is always some challenging, a little bit of challenging in some areas. Some areas we're excited to have college kids back to school, boost our sales up in some of those markets. So anyway, we want to thank you guys again for joining us over the in-person meetings last few weeks. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and we will talk soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Subway BD Regional Podcast, a creative approach to communication designed to keep you informed, connected, and equipped. To receive notifications when new episodes are available, select subscribe below. Thanks for all you do, and continue to create great.